unmute? Oh, looks like you can probably hear me. Welcome to Monday morning. Thank you for being on the Zoom call. For those of you who could make it, a new day is a new day has dawned. So this practice today is going to be called "I Contain Multitudes." It's a it's a song from a new Bob Dylan album. Bob Dylan is still making albums, and they're still good. So, in my opinion, so I loved this lyric. I contain multitudes. I've been thinking about this in my life, and especially in the yoga practice. Just this idea that all of our experiences are kind of enfolded or contained in our beings, in each of our beings, and that this is something that connects us because any interaction that you have had with me and I've had with you, that you've had with other people, the energy of that, perhaps you could say, or the memory of that is somehow enfolded in your experience, in your life. And maybe that goes back into you inherit things from your family, and I don't know, just the multitude of who we each are, and the world that we create is infinite, I think. So let's explore that infinity. So we'll do that through in our finite bodies. That makes sense, right? It's gonna be a real trip today. And we'll record this also for the podcast, so here I go on that. Maybe not. We will begin practice in a cross-legged seated position if that feels comfortable and supportive. If not, find a different pose, maybe a rock pose or a hero's pose. And once you get there, close your eyes. Take some deep breaths upon arrival here. And orient yourself in this space and time, in this moment. Begin to notice sounds, the soundscape which you inhabit and contribute to. Let's kind of start with a broad awareness so that you might listen for sound vibrations reaching you from far off places, high in the sky, maybe deep in the ground. Let's begin to notice your more immediate area, and you might experience the space around you, not only through sound, but also through your skin. So you might feel the air. Notice its temperature. Notice if there's any movement of air against your skin. Experience the spaces beneath you, the places where your body touches down. Now begin to turn your attention to your proprioception, the experience of your own body from within. This might be experienced in the form of perhaps a soreness, perhaps tension, or maybe you can feel your breakfast digesting or your heart beating. Scan the body for these perceptions, these experiences of the present moment. Then turn your attention to your breath. Begin to direct breath in and out through your nostrils. Slowly begin to expand the capacity of your lungs for fullness, drawing more air in with each inhalation, as well as your capacity to empty the lungs. So even at the bottom of the breath, is it possible to push more air out from the lungs, making more room for fresh air, new air to enter the body. You may use the Ujjayi pranayama technique at this time by drawing in a gentle contraction at the back of the throat. Now the sound of your breath contributing to the soundtrack of this moment. Flutter your eyes open, and we are going to practice the bellows breath this morning. So bellows, like the way that you would stoke a fire by pushing fast bursts of air into the flames. So we're going to stoke the fire this morning by focusing on the belly button as you breathe in. So inhale, you might put your hand on your stomach, feel the belly expand with breath. And then it's a sharp exhalation out through the nose. You can breathe in through the nose or in through the mouth. So the inhale is kind of air pulls in after that sharp exhalation. So the focus is more on the activation or the activity of the exhalation. Okay. So you can do this with eyes open slightly or closed. Hands can stay on the belly if you'd like. Inhale, and then we'll do count to about 30. So 30 sharp exhalations. Try to soften the edges of your mouth as you do this. as you complete the 30 sharp exhalations, take a deep breath in and full breath out. Deep breath in, full breath out. One more breath in and full breath out. Okay, one more round of the 30 sharp exhalations. Big inhale, fill the belly, and begin. Okay, upon completion of that set of 30, inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, possibly out through the mouth. One more inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Okay, please bring the hands together at heart center. And we'll chant Om 3 times before before commencing the moving practice. Exhale and inhale. Bow your head to your heart, release your palms to your thighs, then slowly lift your head as you open your eyes. We're going to remain seated. Switch the cross of your legs, bringing the opposite ankle on top if you are in fact in the cross-legged seated position. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, reach up out of the waistline, and then exhale, revolve the chest to the left, lightly press the hands into the back. The mat behind you and into the left thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, revolve. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, revolve, chest broad. One more inhale. Exhale, look back. Inhale, back to center. Sweep the arms overhead, reach up. Exhale, revolve the chest to the right. Place the hands down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, look back, revolve back. Inhale, stay rooted through the legs and hips. Exhale, deep into the revolution. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale through center, arms overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Keep the hips low, forehead down towards or to the mat. Reach the arms forward, breathe into the back body. Inhale. Exhale, head heavy, heart melts towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in this shape. In. And exhale, head, heart, hips down. Inhale, rise with arms overhead, and exhale, arms back to your sides. Come out of the seated position. Place blocks on either side of your mat. So if you have blocks, bring them to the top of your mat. All other props off to the side as you come into a tabletop position. Moving into cat and cow stretches. Inhale, belly and chest down, tailbone and gaze. Lift into your cow pose. And exhale, round the spine. Chin to chest, tailbone towards the floor, belly button towards the ceiling. Push the earth away. Dome the upper back, chin to chest, cow, cat, and back to cow. Inhale. moving with the course of your breath. Perhaps slowly, gradually beginning to increase your range of motion between these two shapes. At the very peak of your inhalation, see if you might sip in any additional air, hugging or toning the muscles of the back. As you exhale, push more air out, belly button in towards the spine as you contract your front body, finding more space between the vertebra along the back side of your spine. Moving through these two shapes anew. So as I like to remind us in this sequence that is so familiar, so common, that every time we come to our mats, there might be something new to see. A light, the light is shining into our experience at a brand new angle, so that something new might be revealed. Then let's come to a neutral spine from here. So angle the right shin out to the right, stack the left hip, left shoulder on top of the right side, and then extend left arm to the sky, left heel to the height of the left hip. So we're in a modified side plank here. Open up the chest, push through the left foot, activate the left leg. And then point the left toes, bend the left knee, grab the outside of the foot, and gently begin to kick the foot into the left hand. As you kick the foot, push the left thigh towards the wall that your back is facing. You might feel the left shoulder blade hug to the back of the heart. If your balance feels stable here, turn the gaze up and breathe into this shape. Push into the foot, lengthen through the knee, lengthen through the tailbone. And then hand down, knee down, second side. Left shin angles out to the left for balance. Stack the right hip, stack the right shoulder. Come into the modified side plank position. Right arm to the sky, chest broad, push through the right foot. Turn the gaze up if you're feeling stable. Point the right toes, bend the right knee, reach for the outside of the foot, and begin to kick the foot into the hand. Activate the leg, lengthen through the knee, lengthen through the tailbone, push the thigh bone towards the left wall, side to neck back, top of the head tilts back, right shoulder blade on the back of the chest. Find breath. And back through the table position. Walk your knees back maybe 6 to 8 inches. Tuck your toes under and widen your knees maybe 2 or 3 inches apart. Tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling as though you're doing cow pose in the low back. So as the pelvis tilts forward, the inner thighs move back and apart. So there's this broadening of the pelvic floor. Look forward and reach the arms forward, coming into a puppy dog pose. Spread the fingers, spread the palms, activate the hands so that knuckles are pushing down, the wrists are lifting up somewhat. Keeping the elbows away from the floor, the outer armpits lifting as the shoulders draw away from the ears. Lower the head and heart downwards. So maybe the head comes down, maybe the sternum comes down, then look forward, reach forward with the chin. And as you arrive in the shape, notice the multitudes, notice the experience. Grab the outer edges of your mat with either hand, and then begin to push with the hands. Continue to reach the chin and chest forward as you melt the heart down. Outer armpits lift, shoulders away from the ears, tailbone tilts to the sky, inner thighs spiral back and apart. Then come forward onto your belly. Take your arms out to either side of the room. And then look towards your left thumb. Make sure your left thumb is in line with your gaze. And then turn your left cheek to the mat to look the other way. Bring your right fingertips tented below your right shoulder, and then start to roll onto your left side body. I'm inching my left fingertips further out to the left, and then take this slowly. So you might start just with hips stacked right on top of left, shoulders stacked so you're on your side, getting a light shined into the left shoulder. The multitudes of sensation there. You may continue to go deeper into this shape by bringing the right foot behind the left leg. So bend the right knee, place the foot on the floor, start to lower the right hip towards the earth. So if this shape is not revealing enough yet, you might bend the left knee and bring the left foot to the floor. Breathe into the left side. Notice what and where you're feeling this position. Observe 3 more breaths in this shape. You might stop paying attention after 1 breath. Just come back. Come back to the breath, to the present experience, to the multitudes contained in this moment, contained in this shoulder. Slowly roll back onto your stomach. Line the right arm up with the gaze, thumb with the eye line. Then turn the right cheek to the mat. Tent the left fingertips below the left shoulder. And then roll onto your right side. Again, you might walk your right fingertips out to the right. As you roll up onto your right side, stack the shoulders, stack the hips. Notice, where is the light shining? What are you experiencing from this shape? And if you if not much is being revealed, then you might continue to bring the left hip deeper towards the floor by bending the left knee and placing the foot on the floor. Breathing again, noticing again. And then possibly the right knee bends, right foot on the floor. Three more breaths in this shape. So even in the course of 3 breaths, your mind could wander. Your mind might, it's some days it's harder than others to really be present with the practice. So just notice where you're at, and if the mind wanders, invite it back. So anchor yourself in the breath and recognize that This moment contains multitudes. Okay, back onto the belly. Arms at your sides. Let the heads of the arm bones release forward for a moment. Then activate the legs, lengthen back with each foot at a time, side to side a few times. Press the feet down, squeeze the inner legs together. Activate the muscles of the legs so that as the feet press down, the kneecaps start to lift. As the front of the pelvis pushes down with the length of the lower back, draw your lower abdomen in and up. Now, interlace the fingers behind your back. Point your elbows towards the ceiling as you shrug your shoulder blades together behind your heart. Now, slowly inhale. Peel the chin and chest away from the floor. Reach the knuckles back. Lift the feet. Lift the lower thighs. Take flight. Breathe into the shape. Let the pose move and change with your breath. Give it all you got. Take flight. Take off. And then let it all go. Right cheek to the floor, arms at your sides, big toes touch, heels widen apart. Head heavy, neck soft, arms heavy, upper back broad. And let the experience of that shape reverberate in this moment. Reflect on the effect of the practice so far. Again, if the mind wanders, invite yourself back to the breath. It's okay. It's okay for the mind to wander. We're just training ourselves to be present so that we have that ability. Chin back to the floor, interlace the fingers with the opposite thumb in front if you can figure that one out. Elbows towards the ceiling, shoulder blades on the back, point back through the toes, tone the legs, and slowly, chin and chest, arms and legs, elevate from the floor. Okay, here's another thing to try here. So with the fingers strongly interlaced, now try to pull the hands apart. Reach the knuckles back, interlace the fingers, pull the hands apart. Feel the shoulder blades activate on the back. Feel the collarbones broaden, the heart open and lifting. Lift off, take off. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left cheek to the floor, arms at your sides, big toes touch, heels widen apart. Head heavy, neck soft, arms heavy, upper back broad. Return to breath. Chin to the floor, tuck your toes, and frame the ribs with your hands. Lift the kneecaps up, tone the muscles of your legs, exhale and push up into a plank position, like the top of a push-up. Hold here. This can be done on the knees to keep alignment between shoulders, hips, and knees, or the knees can be lifted. Either way, keep the lower abdomen drawing in and back, tailbone lengthening towards the heels, kneecaps lifting with the engagement of the thighs, shoulders away from the ears, back of the neck long, gaze forward and down. And then exhale, gently bend the knees, Push the hips up and back to a bent leg, downward facing dog position. Push the hands down and forward, shift the hips up and back, then you might begin to walk out your dog, bending one knee, reaching the opposite heel towards or to the floor, possibly swinging the hips from side to side as you explore the backs of the legs. Get acquainted with your dog, this beloved, familiar shape. Okay, bring your dog to relative stillness, bringing equal amount of bend or straightness to the legs as you push the hands down and forward, shift the hips up and back. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, curl up, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. We are going to do some sun salutations this morning to start to build heat and synchronize breath with movement. Inhale, exhale in your dog, push hands down, melt heels. Inhale and exhale. With your next inhale breath, sweep the left leg straight up and back. Three-legged dog, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, lunge the left foot between the hands. Lift onto tented fingers. Inhale in your lunge, lift through the back inner thigh. Exhale, step forward, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, fingertips to the shins. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, rise to stand, push with the feet, reach with the hands, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, flow forward with the breath. Release the head down. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, half lift. And exhale, fold as you send the left leg back. Inhale, in the lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, lower down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last biggest breath in. Complete breath out. Inhale, right leg leads, lift the right leg, 3-legged dog, look forward, exhale, lunge. Inhale in the lunge, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in deeply. Inhale, rise to standing, push with the feet, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep up, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, lift halfway. As you fold, exhale, right leg back. Inhale in the lunge. Exhale, plant the hands, send the left leg. Come on down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, come on up, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. Full breath out. Last big breath in. Exhale, melt the head, melt the heart, melt the heels. Inhale, left leg lifts. Look to the top of your mat. Exhale, lunge the left foot forward and stay there. Keep breathing. Frame the front foot with the hands on tented fingers. Keep the back legs straight and strong. Hands to the hips, elbows to the ceiling. Draw back through the sides of the waistline. Come on up into a lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, open the chest towards the left wall, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, center. Exhale, open left. Inhale, center. Exhale, open left and hold. Either keep the arms as they are or wrap the left hand to the outside of the right hip. Sweep the right arm overhead, curl back, maybe even look up if you feel you can do that without injury. Reach with the right fingertips, bend deeply into the left knee, weight in the left heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands frame the front foot. Right hand on the floor. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Stack the shoulders, keep the back leg straight and strong. And then, if you'd like, start to open up to embrace the sky. Right ribs towards the ceiling, left ribs towards the floor, sides of the neck back, tops of the ears back. And then hands frame the front foot, step back, plank position. If you'd like, inhale, plank, or inhale, plank, exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, press back for 3 breaths in down dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last biggest breath in. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Look to the top of your mat. Exhale, lunge the right foot between your hands. Establish your lunge, hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come on up. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, open the chest towards the right, arms down to the height of the shoulders. Inhale, center. Exhale, open right. Inhale, center. Exhale, open right and hold. Arms down to the height of your shoulders, deepen the lunge, wrap the right arm back to the outside of the left hip if possible. Left arm overhead, lean back, reach back, look up, hold, soften the face for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands frame the front foot, left palm to the floor, sweep the right arm up, open the chest towards the right, keep the legs as they were, back inner thigh lifting, chest broad. Either choose to stay here or wrap the left ribs towards the sky, right ribs towards the floor. Open up to embrace the sky. Sides of the neck back, tops of the ears back. Then hands frame the front foot, step back, down dog. Inhale to plank if you'd like. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, curl up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to practice our hops. So we'll do this 3 times. 3 is the magic number today. So make sure you have your hands about a little wider than your shoulders. Turn the hands out slightly so the space between your index and middle finger is pointing straight ahead. Ground into the knuckles, press the fingerprints down, and try to lift weight out of your wrists. Look to the space between your hands. Lift onto your toes, bend your knees, lift your hips high, drawing back through the sides of your waistline. Okay, as you exhale, pull your belly button into the spine, and then lift the hips high and land with the feet between the hands. Okay, that was 1. Hop or step back. Reconnect with breath, bend the knees, draw back through the sides of the waistline, shift the shoulders forward. I forgot to say that, so shift the weight of the upper body forward into the hands a little more so the feet lighten. With the next exhale, pull the belly button into the spine, lift the hips high, and arrive at the top of your mat. 1 more time. You might spontaneously combust into a handstand here. So if that's at all likely to be the case, you might put the top of the mat against a wall. Look to the top of your mat, bend the knees, draw back through the sides of the waistline, shift the weight of the shoulders forward, push down into the knuckles, exhale, hips high, land the feet, and place the feet hip width distance apart, fold forward. Fingertips to blocks or to the floor in front of you, press down through the feet, lift into the kneecaps, lift the hips up, lengthen down through the crown of your head, and then inhale, fingertips to the shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold once again, head low, hands to the earth or block. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up, look up, palms touch, and then exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Whew. Okay. I think we successfully built some heat. Okay, so have your blocks at the top of your mat. We'll probably just use one, so if you only have one, don't sweat it. If you only have none, don't sweat it, just improvise. Okay, so we're going to walk back from the blocks a bit, step into or onto the left foot, and then just start to swing the right leg. So arms will accommodate this movement as you start to kick with more vigor. So I love that just in a lot of yoga poses, we're just kind of managing all the different parts of the body in coordination. And this, you're just kind of doing a singular action and then trusting the rest of the body to accommodate, to keep that movement going and you staying upright. So just kind of notice the intelligence of this intelligence to swing the arms and move the upper body in a way that will correspond to the movement of the leg. Okay, now ground through the left leg, draw the right knee in and up towards the chest, interlace the fingers, hug the knee in and up. Tall spine, lengthen down through the tailbone. And then release the leg, hands to hips, extend the right leg forward. Then draw the knee in and up towards the chest again without the use of the hands, and sweep the right leg back, coming down into a warrior three airplane pose. Push down through the left leg, lift into the left kneecap, draw into the left hip, wrap the right outer hip down as you lift through the right inner thigh. Push back with the right foot. Extend forward through the heart, forward through the crown of the head. Arms can go back, out, or forward. And can you reach that block? Hopefully you can reach a block with the left hand and then place it about the same distance between your ankle and your wrist as between your hip and your armpit. Then open up into a half moon pose, stacking the right hip, right shoulder on top of the left side. Say, thank you, left leg, you're doing a great job. Right arm to the sky, open up. One more thing, bend the right knee, bring it to your chest, or try to reach for the ankle or the outside of the foot behind the hip. Come into Ardha Chandra Chapasana or candy cane pose, bringing that bind to the right foot. Right shoulder on the back, maybe look up as you press down through the left foot, lift into the left kneecap. Okay, come on back. Hands to hips, right toes towards the floor. Bring the right knee in and up towards the chest. Extend the right leg forward. Come on, keep with it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Left leg, thank you so much. You are amazing. Okay. Go get your hula hoop. Okay, what's your hula hoop look like? What is mine? Mine's like purple with yellow polka dots. Okay. Strap on the hula hoop. Give it a whirl. Give it a whirl. That's a phrase that and perfectly applies to hula hooping. Okay, take the hula hoop, send it out in the other direction. Get some nice fluid movement to the hips. And stop, lift the hula hoop, set it down with loving kindness, and then we'll do the second side. Great job, left leg. Right leg, now it's your turn to be tested. Right leg grounds. Make a nice wide base with your foot by spreading your toes, broadening the bones of your feet. And then push way down into your right foot, growing those roots down into the earth, immovable, strong, supported. Left leg starts to swing. Move the blocks. so you don't stub your toe or kick a block through a window. Just recognize the beauty of motion. So like, you're not like, okay, well, my leg is moving at this degree and it weighs this much, so I'm gonna need to move my body like this. You know, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to figure it out. It's just, you just know. You just know how to do it. It's amazing. Okay, so let's make sure those right toes are pointed straight ahead. Draw the left knee in and up towards the chest. Grab the shin with the hands, interlace the fingers, pull the knee in and up as you lengthen the tailbone down. Broaden the chest, lift through the crown of the head, hug it in. Do you want to do that? That felt good. Hug it in. I liked it. Okay, hands to the hips. Extend the left leg forward, push through the heel, pull back through the toes, lift into the kneecap, hands at equal height, and then pull the knee in and up back towards the chest. Extend the left leg back, come into your warrior 3 airplane pose. Make sure the toes of the right foot are pointing straight ahead. Lift into that leg, lift into the hip, push back through the right leg, lift into the right thigh, arms back, arms out, arms forward, and then right hand to the floor or to a block as we set up for Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose. So then, without moving the right foot, push down through the right foot and begin to stack the left hip on top of the right hip. Push back through the foot, engage the left leg, revolve the right ribs towards the left wall, left arm to the ceiling, tickle the clouds. I don't know why I said that. And then bring the knee into the chest or bend the knee behind you to reach for the foot or the ankle. Attempt that bind. Fall out. Get back up. It's just yoga. It's fun. It's interesting. Very few consequences if you fall over, unless you break an arm or something. That would be a consequence, but I don't think you've done that. Left shoulder on the back, push through the knee, lengthen through the tailbone, left thigh towards the right wall. And then we're going to come back out. Release the foot if you have it, point the left toes towards the earth, wrap the left foot down, hands to the hips, knee in and up towards the chest. Extend the left leg forward. Yay, right leg. You can do it. Yay, left leg. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And knee into the chest, left foot down. See, I contain my mother. She is a aerobics instructor, so sometimes you get that vibe, don't you? Okay, hands, get your hula hoop, place it back on, and swing it around. What was it? Give it a whirl. Make sure your hands are not bumping into your imaginary hula hoop. And then grab it, other direction. Okay. Grab it, lift it. We won't need it anymore, so crash it into an imaginary window. Okay, haven't done this in a while. We've all missed it. Goddess pose. Take your feet about 3 to 3.5 feet apart, and then turn your toes out about a 45-degree angle. Hands to the hips, shoulder blades on the back, collarbones broad, spine tall, bend the knees in the direction of the toes, sink down into those hips. Extend through the inner thighs, contract through the outer hips, weight in the heels, upper body back. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, left arm underneath the right. Wrap the forearms, bring palms together, elbows lift, forearms away from the face, upper body back, tailbone long for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, right arm underneath the left. Elbows lift, forearms away from the face, wrap the arms tightly, upper body back, tailbone down, extend through the inner thighs, weight in the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, sweep the arms up. Exhale, release the arms down. Walk the heels to the back edge of your mat. Line up the outer edges of your feet with the short ends of your mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Tone the muscles of your legs. Roll the shoulder blades back, point the elbows back, lift into the heart, reach with the chin. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Place the wrists below your shoulders in a halfway down position. Push back through the thighs, lift into the kneecaps, ground through the outer feet, and then exhale, fold in. Walk your hands back. Possibly line up your fingers with your toes, or take your hands off the back of your mat. So I have not been instructing this pose regularly recently. So if you've gone through periods where you've done this pose very regularly, you likely will have had the experience of getting your head closer or to the floor. So maybe you haven't been doing this. Maybe you need a prop today, whereas 4 months ago you didn't need a prop. That's part of the yoga. That's part of the practice. It's not just a linear progression where you just get stronger and more flexible every time you come to your mat. In fact, I would propose that would be kind of boring. So there are times when we have new limitations, and and in a way, does that not deepen our experience? Does that not expand our experience by having a limitation? Are we not limitless in our ability to be limited? Is that a thing? Okay, if you'd like here, float on up into a tripod headstand, or sweep your arms behind your back, interlace the fingers, reach through the knuckles, hug the shoulder blades together behind your back, lower your knuckles towards the floor, to the floor. Explore this shape, explore this moment, explore the back side of your own body. Three breaths here. Come back to the breath. If the mind wanders, just say, hey, what about this next breath? And place the fingers, come down from a headstand, walk your way back to that half lifted position, then hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, come on back up, heel toe the feet, all the way back together, shake out the legs, and come on down. We will practice our inversion now. So you might have just done an inversion. Well, we're about to do another one. I have been presenting Pinchamayurasana in the past few weeks, and I'm going to continue with that offering. If Pinchamayurasana is not your flavor of inversion today, then you can kick up into a handstand, or you can do your headstand practice. But if you'd like to continue this exploration of peacock feather pose, then come along, ride with me. Have a block. I love a block for this. Why not? Why not use a prop? I'm gonna just keep using this prop until I feel like I don't want it anymore. So take your hands, frame the block with your hands, and as I mentioned last week, if you are a broad-shouldered individual, and if you, by framing one block, your hands are narrower than your shoulders, then take a second block to widen that base. So you want your forearms perpendicular or parallel to one another. Your elbows directly below your shoulders, your hands framing the block, knuckles grounding. Then you're in a forearm table pose, melt the heart. So feel the shoulder blades slump together behind the heart as the weight of the heart kind of sinks down. Just think of that for a moment. Let the heart sink. And then shoulders away from the ears, so activate the shoulders away from the ears. Then draw the lower ribs in and back, activate the middle spine, the abdominal muscles. Keep the gaze forward and down. And then tuck your toes under, lift the hips up into a forearm dog, and walk the feet forward, inch by inch. Walking the hips higher without letting the shoulders come forward at the elbows, just like in headstand. Then we're going to bring the right foot towards center, lift the left leg straight up and back into a three-legged forearm dog. This could be a bus stop, or bend the right foot, bend the right knee. Start to kick with the left leg, little hops. Little hops get bigger. Kick to the wall. Seek balance. Push down with the forearms, shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen up through the tailbone. Maybe point the toes. Maybe take the gaze in a different direction. Okay, so that was hopping with one leg. Now we'll hop with the other leg. Left foot towards center. Right leg lifts. Bend the left leg. Kick the right leg. Little hop. Turns to bigger hop. Turns to recklessly kicking towards the wall with the hope of support, the trust of the arms, the striving for strength and balance, the beauty of the peacock feather. Okay, when you have explored, when you have strengthened, when you have found interest in that shape, then come to a child's pose. Knees together, hips to the heels, arms can release and relax in a forward position. Come back to breath. If you like, sweep the arms back, let the heads of the arm bones roll forward. Arms at your sides, palms turn up, hips heavy. And slowly curl up along the spine, come into a rock pose. So think about this pose as a neutralizing shape, tall spine, shoulder blades relaxed down the back. Gaze is soft into the distance. Push your way up for camel pose. We're continuing with our camel rabbit series. Kind of like the extremes of cat and cow are mimicked in this later camel and rabbit sequence. So let's start like we did last week with the fingers pointing up towards the shoulders. So instead of putting the hands in the back pockets, we're turning the fingertips to turn up to the sky. Push the elbows back and pull them in. Lift the heart up and then tilt the gaze up. Push down on the upper buttocks with the heels of the hands. Ground through the tops of the feet. And then start to curl back. I was thinking about this pose, doing this the other day, and I was thinking, oh, instead of releasing the head totally back or keeping it suspended, it's kind of nice to just take the gaze slightly forward. So as the shoulders curl back, as the chest curls back, as the tailbone lengthens down, as the shins, knees, and feet ground, the gaze can be slightly forward, trying to soften the jaw. And then hands might come down. Fingertips to the insides of the heels, thumbs to the outsides. And then does your gaze want to go back? Does your head want to release back? Push your fingertips into your inner heels. Roll your inner elbows out. Push the shoulder blades up into the back of the heart, lifting and opening the heart, lengthening the back, opening up the vertebra along the front of the spine. Then hands back to the hips. Hips forward, chest forward, shoulders forward. Head comes up last, feet together, knees together. Take a seat back on the heels. Settle back. Embody your rock. So think about the multitudes of a rock. So consider how old a rock could be. A rock could be millions of years old. A rock can contain multitudes. Okay, let's do that again. Push up, prepare for camel. Hands, heels to the low back, pushing the upper buttocks down, fingertips turn up, elbows back, elbows in, heart lifts. Ground with the knees, ground with the feet. Keep the hips as they are as you curl back into the unknown. Hands to fingers to heels, fingers inside, thumbs outside. You could also use blocks. You could also keep your hands on the hips. You could take the gaze forward or take the gaze back without moving your head side to side. If you have the hands on the feet, then push the fingertips into the inner heels. Roll the inner elbows out. Feel the shoulder blades pushing the back of the heart skyward. As you're ready, hands to hips. Hips forward, chest forward, shoulders forward, knees together, feet together. Hips sit back. Become the rock. Notice the mind's tendency to leave this moment. Come back to this moment. Come back to this shape in which multitudes are contained in this moment. Arms to your sides. Make sure you have enough room in front of you to fold forward with the arms overhead, as we are about to do. Arms overhead, exhale, hinge at the hips. Or keep the hips low, fold forward with the upper body, forehead and hands touch down at roughly the same time. Inhale, come on back up, 2 more times. Exhale, fold forward, hips stay low, head and hands touch down. Inhale, come back up. And
once you get there. Sweep the arms back, reach for the outer edges of the feet, wrap the fingers to the insides of the heels, tuck your chin towards your chest, forehead towards or to the knees, then push your shins down and begin to lift your hips up. So here is the rabbit, the the opposite of the camel. So camel is to rabbit as cow is to cat here. Pull your belly button in towards your spine as you exhale. Push the feet down, lift the hips up. And then slowly lower the hips. Push the hands down. Come on back up to the neutral, to the rock. Back to breath. Arms to your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Arms overhead as you exhale, hands and head down at relatively the same time. Inhale, keep the hips low, come on back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold. Stay down, head down, arms sweep back. Reach for the outsides of the feet, wrap the fingers to the insides, tuck your chin to your chest, pull your forehead towards or to your knees, push the shins and feet down, lift the hips up, belly button in towards the spine, arms are pulled taut, breathe along your back body, opening up the back body. And then come on down with the hips, push up. Once again, become the rock. Okay, so find a blanket, possibly 2 blankets, and we are going to take a staff pose. So with the legs extended forward, you might move the flesh of your buttocks back and apart to get a good connection between your sits bones and the height on which you are seated. And then you want to use the blankets to tilt the pelvis upright. So pelvis, think of the pelvis like a bowl, and you want the bowl to hold water. You don't want it tilted back like so that the lower back is rounded, but in this pose you want the lower back long and the bowl of the pelvis upright. So if you sit on the edge of some padding to tilt the pelvis forward, that will keep the length in the low back here. So in staff pose, activate the legs, push the thighs down, engage the kneecaps, drawing them in and up. Janu Bandha, push through the heels of the feet, pull back through the toes. Hands might be along the sides of the body, depending on your torso to arm length ratio, or your hands might be behind the back. Again, neutral spine, tall spine, chin parallel to the floor. And from here, we're going to take the left leg with the left hand, start to widen the left knee out to the left, and then stack the left ankle on top of the right thigh. So it might look like a figure 4 shape, or it might look like a lotus leg. So depending on the height of the knee, you might put some padding underneath the knee. You might not. Get some negotiation happening. What feels supportive? You want to generally avoid a sense of pain in the knee. Okay, right leg grounds. Sweep the arms overhead and exhale, fold over the right leg. Take hold of the leg, outside of the ankle, outside of the foot to pull the chest forward, pull the heart towards the right foot, pull the toes back towards the chest, and then fold once again. Head towards or to the leg. So there might be some intense pressure of feeling the left ankle against the right thigh, or the intense pressure of the heel into the abdomen, depending on where the leg is, how far you're folded forward. So just know that that's part of the pose. And in being part of the pose, can you reach acceptance, reach be curious? Three breaths here. Grab the leg after you've done with those 3 breaths. Pull the chest forward, curl in the upper back, and then walk your way back up to seated. Extend the left leg forward. Neutralize in the staff pose. And then draw the right knee out. Place the ankle on the thigh or bring the foot into lotus. Prop as necessary, possibly a blocker, blanket underneath the right knee. Grow tall and fold over the left leg. Keep the sits bones grounded. Then take hold of the leg, ankle, or foot. Pull the chest forward, lengthen along the front of the torso, reach through the chin, pull back through the toes, and then once again fold over the leg. So again, in knowing that discomfort might be part of this, does that make it easier to say, oh, this might be uncomfortable, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can accept that it's supposed to be uncomfortable. Three breaths. Okay, grab the leg, ankle, or foot, draw the chest forward, curl in the upper back, look up, walk back. Unbend the knee, legs forward, staff pose. And grow tall, fold over the legs. Paschimottanasana. Hands to the legs, ankles or feet. Pull the chest forward, widen the hips back. Separate the sits bones to the best of your ability. Draw back through the toes, lift into the kneecaps, lengthen through the back, reach through the chin, reach through the chest, and then fold. Fold over the legs. Perhaps propping the head to release the neck.
was thinking about this idea, and I feel like it comes up especially with forward folds, and yeah, it comes up a lot in yoga. This question of what am I supposed to be feeling, and I was just considering this idea that what you're supposed to be feeling is the experience. So whatever you're feeling, that's what you're supposed to be feeling. The point is to notice. The point is to explore the experience of being. So explore the experience of being in this shape at this moment with each breath. Three more breaths. Take hold of the feet, pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, curl in the upper back, and then walk your way back up to neutral. Let's do one more twist here. Pull the right I don't know which side I start on anymore. Left heel into the hip, a little bit of space between the foot and the thigh, left hand behind the back, right arm reaches up, grow tall out of the right waistline, and then either wrap the right arm around the front of the left shin, or you could hook the elbow to the outside of the thigh, coming into some form of a twist or a revolved chest. You can even attempt to find some form of a bind here. You could reach the right arm around the front of the left shin and wrap the left arm back. Pretty deep one. Release, little counter twist, and then extend the left leg, draw the right heel in, fists width distance between the foot and the thigh, right hand behind, ground the hips, reach the left arm, lift up out of the left waistline, wrap or hook the elbow. You might let the pose deepen gradually. Use the strength of the abdomen to shift the inner organs from left to right. Let the exploration ascend the spine. Explore the bind. Okay, come on out, unwind, counter twist. Come on down to your back. Bend the knees, cup the knees with the hands, and sway the hips side to side, massaging the low back as you push the knees into the hands. And draw the knees in and up towards the armpits. Take hold of the feet and rock again in happy baby, side to side with the knees. Soles of the feet together, interlace the fingers, widen out through the inner thighs, flatten the low back, press the feet into the hands, pull the arms taut, back of the neck long against the mat, head heavy. Reclined bound angle. Knees together. Give yourself a big hug. Wrap your arms around the fronts of your legs. Grab wrists, forearms, or elbows. Hug. Tuck the chin to the chest, forehead towards the knees. Squeeze the forehead in. Tuck the tailbone under. Less of your back body on the floor as you squeeze in. Get tight. And then let it go. Implode and then explode. Arms at your sides, set up for your version of rest. I don't have any. I don't have my comforting socks. Yeah, but get those things that help you to feel safe and supported in this position. And those things that help you get present, get grounded. Give some effort into achieving this this state of being, the state of rest and reflection. You might make some adjustments to the legs, lengthening through the heels. Tuck the tailbone, lengthen through the low back before setting the legs down. Set down the heavy burden of the left leg. Set down the heavy burden of the right leg. And I think there's a negative connotation with the word burden, but it's a loving, it's a lovely burden. Set down the lovely burden of your pelvis. You might tuck your shoulder blades gently underneath the chest to emphasize that openness of the heart. And then rest the arms down. Set down the lovely burden of your left arm. The beloved burden of your right arm. You might adjust the head so the neck feels long. You might tilt the head so the throat feels open. Then set down the beloved burden of your skull and of your brain. you might stay. You might begin to reanimate, repossess your fingers and toes. You may begin to rock your arms from side to side, re-embracing the limbs. Draw the knees up, extend your left arm along your left ear and roll onto the left hand side. Transitioning from our corpse pose back into this fetal position, re-emerging from the practice. Make your way back to a seated position. Draw hands together in front of heart center or onto the heart. Real close practice with the single sound of Om. Exhale and inhale for Om. Thank you for your presence, your patience, and your devotion to the practice. The light in me bows to the light in each of you. Namaste. Again, thank you for being here. We have some very dramatic lighting in my house today. I wonder if it's the same for you. Let me know. Let me know what the light was like for you today. Yeah, please keep in touch. Email me at athenspublic@gmail or text or call me anytime. I would love to hear from you. Same time, same place next week. Athens has art. Good to know you were here today. Great light. Good. So the Wednesday class, the format's going to change a little bit. I'm just going to continue with this one streaming class per week. The Wednesday class is going to now become a Zoom class. So if you'd like to sign up for the Wednesday evening class, it will be more of a, I actually see you and you can communicate with me in that format. So go to the Revolution Therapy and Yoga page and you'll be able to sign up for that class starting this Wednesday at 5:30, and that will be a 60-minute class. So so that's gonna be the new schedule. I'll try to make sure that gets changed on my website if you're using my website as a way to keep track of my classes. So thank you again. I will hopefully see you here